Welcome to Healing Mindset. I am Nazish, and tonight we're going to talk to anyone who's been doing all the right things: workout, therapy, journaling, supplements, prayers, productivity hacks, and still kind of feels off. Like the body is moving, but your spirit isn't clogged in. Because here's the vibe. Alignment isn't a vibe check, it is an operating system update. And my guest today is literally built for this conversation: Jennifer Pilates, a globally sought out Pilates rehabilitative specialist with 25 years of experience. See, she's also an intuitive medium, Reiki master, spiritual mentor, and a holistic wellness expert. Jennifer's own healing journey starts after a traumatic car accident where Pilates didn't just rebuild her body, it unlocked a deeper body, mind, and spirit connection and amplified her intuitive healing gifts. Now she helps thousands reconnect with their power and realign with their soul path, coaching through reading and healing work. Also, her interviews never surface level ever. So, if you are ready to feel grounded, clear, and connected, and not just fine, let's get into it. So, welcome to the show, and I hope you're having a really good day.
Thank you so much, Nazish. It's such a pleasure to be here today.
Amazing. So, Jennifer, when people say I want alignment, what do they actually mean?
I think sometimes, honestly, people don't know what they mean. They just know that they don't feel good and they want to feel good. And I don't mean that on just a surface level. I mean, like, just deep. They just feel off. Something doesn't feel right in their body. And so, in their world, in their body, like, nothing is jiving. The pieces to the puzzle aren't fitting. And so, that's really generally what they mean is things are off, I don't know what it is, I just wanna feel better.
That is an amazing description, and it feels so real. It's like something we all know what is going on, but don't know what it is.
Exactly, and it's very normal, and it happens every day to each and every one of us, and it's up to us to be aware enough to tune into what feels good and what doesn't, and then listen to our bodies and choose in those moments, what are we going to do so that we do feel good? Like, why would you
Exactly.
Right, why would you continue to do something that doesn't feel good? Or why would you continue to sit at a lunch with someone who's just draining your energy? It's learning from those experiences so that then in the future, the blessing is that you don't set yourself up to be in those same situations again.
That is very important and very beautifully put. So, Jennifer, what's the fastest way to tell if someone is aligned or just performing wellness?
I think a lot of people, don't you, right now, they're just trying to do it all. So they
Mhm.
think that it's like putting on lotion on the body versus you really want a massage, but you're just gonna put lotion on because hopefully that feels better, right? You really wanna get to that deeper level, and I think that so many people right now, you can see it. There's this facade.
Mhm.
People look happy on the outside. Look at, social media. We call it,
Yeah,
fake life, Facebook. It's fake. Nobody ever puts up on there, "I'm having the worst day of my life. I'm crying my eyes out. My husband left me. My dog died. The kids are terrible." No one does that. It's not real. None of it is real. And we've been programmed, the society has been programmed to believe that that is real, that this social media experiment would be social and bring people together when what it's done is it's actually created, um more aloneness for people and more judgment within people. Trying to keep up with that other person, comparing yourself to someone else because what you think you're seeing on the internet is real, and it's not. And so I do feel that it's pretty, I think anyone that you look at on the internet, honestly, it's not. It's not what you think. And it goes back to that old saying, you never know what's going on behind someone else's four walls because you're not there.
That is very true. And I feel like that is something all our listeners would be able to relate with. So, Jennifer, your story started with a car accident. How did physical rehab turn into spiritual reawakening?
It was all encompassing. So, Pilates, which is how I had my physical rehab, the majority of it with my car accident, which lasted for a year. Pilates brings you into connection, into alignment, body, mind, and spirit. And it truly starts with connecting with your inner self. And for me, all it took was one session. And suddenly, and I really didn't do anything, by the way. I was on a piece of equipment called the reformer, and I lied down, and you put your feet up on what's called a foot bar. And I was getting ready to do footwork. I didn't even move the machine yet. I physically didn't move yet. However, Pilates has a lot of breath work in it. And breath work, it has been a buzzword for the last, I don't know, 10 years or so now. Breath work is very huge. And when you connect your breath to your body, you can release at an emotional level. And in that moment in time, when the instructor was guiding me how to breathe, I finally connected inward and I just started crying. And my body released and my nervous system just let go. And so it can literally be a moment like that for any person. And for me, that's how it started. And so Pilates was so much more than the physical aspect. Yes, I was in a tremendous amount of pain, and it absolutely helped that and continues to help me every day. The true essence is getting into the core of you and into that body and into the mind. And it's a peaceful place to be with yourself. And when you can connect and just be there and connect with your body, it's such a special moment and it's such a special sacred place. It's your temple and it should really be treated as such. And again, I don't think that a lot of us, enough of us, are brought up to really understand the temple that we have and how to cherish it. And that this temple is supposed to last you 100 plus years, not just 70 some years, and how important it is to treat it. And so for me, over the years, it's been a wonderful learning experience. Every year is another depth of layering and of learning and connecting with intuition and my body and in alignment, which gives me more opportunity to share that depth with all of you and all of my clients.
That is absolutely beautiful. So, Jennifer, tell me, was there a specific moment where you were like, oh wow, my body is literally speaking to me?
Well, definitely in that last example, I mean, I definitely knew my body, my emotions were speaking to me. But there were also, besides the car accident, which my body was in a lot of pain. And while the injuries that I sustained from the car accident, yes, were significant, if you go deeper into it, into the tissues, there was also trauma that was stored there. So through the accident, the physicalness of what I experienced, the trauma of the accident, it helped to release the trauma that was already stored in my body from a life of which I was living throughout a toxic family. And I didn't know it. And so I always say in every moment and everything you're going through, there is a lesson and there is a blessing. And so the lesson that I received was through Pilates and how powerful it was and what what an incredible piece modality that I was given. So it was a lesson and a blessing all at the same time. The blessing of the car accident was that I was able to experience holistic practices that I wouldn't have otherwise experienced in my life. So it was sort of like spirituality, holistic 101, like it advanced. Like, didn't ask for this, but it was advanced because I was in and out of all of these different modalities 8 hours a day, from a traditional doctor to a holistic doctor, and so a lot of blessings, and my body spoke to me tremendously through that time, and later, your body will always speak to you. Your body is your key to what's going on in your world, in your body, mind, and spirit, and so even a few weeks ago, something as simple as this. My low back was speaking to me. I had gotten a new pair of sneakers. I also had moved. There were a lot of things that had happened. So I wasn't really paying a lot of attention to the fact that the new sneakers were actually really hurting my back. It took me like 2 weeks to finally figure it out because I was like, is it the new bed? Is it this? Is it that? Right? Sometimes we're just not tuned in enough because of everything that's going on around us. And that's why I always say it's important to have a daily practice where you can check in with yourself to find those grounded moments, to find clarity, because that's really where your answers are. And that's where God, the universe, your angels and guides will connect with you and help guide you. And we don't connect, I don't feel enough. We aren't taught really how important that is, that there's so much more to this world than us. And when you connect with God and the universe and your angels, life begins to flow very differently. And I wouldn't say effortlessly because there is always something that we're working towards in life, but it's much more smoother. And there's much more of a connection from point A to point B in guidance than if you try to go it on your own.
That is absolutely beautiful. You've put it so nicely and so beautifully. It's like something that I connected so well with. And I hope all my listeners who are listening in will be able to relate with it the same way. And it's like, for body keeps receipts of everything. And when we stop listening, it just sends out signals louder.
Absolutely, it does. Absolutely. So the dis-ease that you may be feeling today that you're putting off and you're going, "Oh, it's fine, I'll stretch later. Oh, I'll work through it. Oh, it's a headache. Oh, it's whatever." That dis-ease will build and build and build. And should you ignore it long enough, what your body is trying to express to you, it will turn into a disease. And so when we look at disease in the body, every disease comes from a place that was of dis-ease. And every dis-ease comes from an emotional component at a cellular level that we have chosen not to work with and not to look at. And it's very easy to do.
Absolutely.
Right, and it's very hard to undo, right? It takes a lot of work by the time we get to a disease altogether. So that's why I always encourage people to really pay attention to what is going on within your body, mind, and spirit, because it is your temple and it gives you all of the clues and the leads that you need to live the healthiest, best aligned life for you.
True. So, for someone who feels disconnected, what is the first step to reconnecting body, mind, and spirit without getting overwhelmed?
There are lots of small little practices that one can do, and depending on where you are in the world, the first thing is I would say is get into nature. Nature is the easiest place to ground your energies and to connect back with you. Whether that's nature in the woods, whether that's sitting by the beach or the ocean, those are my two favorite places. That is the easiest thing and it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It's time, and time is priceless. And so if you can just go and sit and just marvel at the nature that's around you, at the colors of the trees, the color of the grass, how does it feel? Connect into your sensory system. What are you smelling? What are you seeing? What are you feeling? And then if you can take it a step further and begin to think about the things that you appreciate in life. And some people would say, "Oh, the things that I'm grateful for." And yes, being grateful is good. And I want you to be grateful. But when you can take it another step higher and you can be appreciative, that truly is the highest energetic level that you can be. And so if you can find 3 things that you're really appreciative for, and why are you appreciative for, and how have they bettered your life? And so you keep sort of peeling back that onion to that. You're sitting there, you're now grounding, you're raising your vibration, and the vibration that you're raising within yourself begins to raise around you. Above and beyond that, nature in itself is already helping you to raise your vibration. So though that's one really, really easy thing that you can do. Now, if we want to do something ridiculously fun and say you are just having an angst moment. You are fit to be tied. You are just to be. You are not happy. Get up, turn on some music, and start dancing like nobody's watching. Put on your favorite song. I want you to dance. I want you to sing. I want you to move your body. You are now connecting on every energetic level. And what you're allowing is that angst and that energy to move through your body so that you can release it into the ground, into Mother Gaia, so that she can transmute it into something good for the earth. So instead of sitting there with the angst and the bitterness and whatever else you're feeling, you are now moving that through your body. So put on your favorite song, take 5 minutes and shift your energy. And it's also really fun to do. And again, it's free and it's easy.
That is absolutely correct. And it makes it something very approachable and something that we can all do in our daily lives.
Absolutely. Because some people, you know, don't want to sit down and writing doesn't connect with them.
True.
Meditating doesn't necessarily connect. I want people to know that meditation is very different. I have a walking meditation that I do. And that for me is where I receive a lot of downloads. Being in the shower is meditative, the way the water is cleansing you and washing you. So there's so many different ways besides the so-called everyday ones that we've grown up with. So I want people to know that there's something out there that will connect with you and
Mm,
feel good to you, and that is the one that I want you to do.
that is true. So you also blend Pilates rehab with intuition and energy work. What does this energetic alignment look like in the real world?
So in the real world, it takes you from feeling like, "Oh, I can't take one more thing from this world or from my family or from everything. The weight of the world feels so heavy," to feeling good and walking tall and hearing maybe someone complain to you, but not taking it on yourself. Listening and observing the world, but realizing you don't have to be reactive to everything that's happening in the world. You don't have to take it all on. So it's about honoring yourself and honoring your energetic space and bringing you to a place where your chakras are cleansed and cleared and aligned so that you're feeling in alignment, which gives you that empowerment from within so that you can handle the day to day things going on in the world.
True. I agree. That is absolutely true. So, Jennifer, if somebody, sorry, if somebody wants to connect more with you and know more about your work, where can they connect with you?
The best place is to go to my website, which is jenniferpilates.com. And that is where you can find out all of your information if you'd like to connect for an intuitive medium reading, be that for yourself or for your business. If you'd like to join the Reiki distant healing circles that we have twice a month on the new moon and the full moon. If you'd like to join our Empowered Within community, our collective, which is where we have all of our Pilates and our Reiki in an on demand setting so that I'm available to you when the best time is for you, because that's what matters most. And again, that's jenniferpilates.com.
Amazing. I will make sure to include all these links into the show notes. And Jennifer, it was an amazing conversation with you. It was so beautiful and so insightful for me. And I hope it was the similar way for our listeners as well. So, dear listeners, if this episode hits you, don't just nod along. Do one aligned action today. Put one hand on your heart and one on your lower belly and take 5 slow breaths and then ask, what am I doing right now that disconnects me from myself? And then ask, what is the one tiny shift I can make today that brings me back? Tiny is not weak, tiny is sustainable. Tiny is how you rebuild trust with yourself. If you loved this convo, share it with a friend who have been feeling off lately. Leave a review, and if you are watching your life change in real time, tag us and I want to see you win.